morning everyone. Welcome to this week. Well, no surprise, I'm all in a muddle because how to get things in order. When we had our recent trip down to Dorset, we stopped at the Dorset Museum and Art Centre. Oh, I might have that wrong. And it's in Dorchester. And one of the reasons was that they've got a nice collection on the top floor of Elizabeth Frink. And it was lovely. It's amazing. They've got so many different things in there. Not to mention on the ground floor, some beautiful Roman mosaics. And it was quiet because it's not the time of year for lots of visitors, I guess. And the very knowledgeable member of staff was giving us lots of history, and all I could think was, hurry up, I want to get upstairs. And then it was so funny because when we got up there, two big Frink sculptures undercover. Also, had completely by surprise, when we were there, on that top floor, I'll drop the image in. This is a painting by Christopher Wood. And Christopher Wood was mates with Winifred Nicholson. I was just so thrilled to be able to read the history and something of their connection, which until that point I was unaware of. It's a still life, vase of flowers. He wrote a letter to his mother and saying that flowers give me more pleasure than anything, and still life is the thing I like painting the best. That was in a letter to his mother, 1923. Wood painted these flowers in the same year that he visited St Ives and met Ben and Winifred Nicholson. He became part of their group of young artists and sculptors, the 7 and 5 Society. He and Winifred shared a passion for painting flowers, experimenting with colour, light, shape and expression. Well, then this week, a couple of days back, we went to London for the day, and one of my favourite galleries is Tate Britain. I absolutely love it in there. And we found near to a really big Winifred a lovely boaty picture that Christopher Wood painted. It's just such a thrill. It's like joining up all the dots. It brings to life for me some of the things that I've touched on in a very roundabout, unexpected way. Alice Mumford prompted Winnie, and all those things, and it was just like, everything. It's like a culmination of gathering things together and things making a little bit more sense. Wow. When I saw the Christopher Wood flowers and the lovely Winifred piece, I thought, I need another go. I want to paint flowers. It's been too long. I can appreciate that it's quite hard to see quite what's going on here. The photograph is a bit far away. But it's a tabletop, the blue is a tabletop, and here I'm going in with a woody into the wet paint. Quite often if you put that crayon into the wet paint, it'll dry in nicely, and it might move if I go back in, but I don't worry about that. At this point, it just, while I'm kind of eyeing it up, it just helps me with placement. Just using that crayon, I find that quite helpful to get a different line, a different mark, to try and plot things and see if that sort of makes a balanced composition. And also, because I know I'm going to go and let this dry now, it will just give me a nod to what I want to do when I come back into it. If I just get these very sort of naive marks down, they just point the right direction. I didn't leave it very long to dry. Just putting in some marks, a little bit of shadow on that table, some darker values, and pulling the paint around with that damp cloth. Well, I'll stop here. It's a bit choppy. I enjoyed that. It's so nice just to be more gestural when you've been doing smaller things. I walked in this morning and thought that looks very dabby. It was quite interesting because I just thought I'd try and follow the marks up close. Look very palette knife-ish. He might well have just gone in with a palette knife and the oils. It's just quite good fun trying different techniques. So my thinking is, what's left of this raw sienna mixed with the white now? I'll get some yellow in there and start seeing if I can put in some florals, some colour. This is all quite muted, and now let's see if I can get the flowers to jump in brights. So last night I had a bit of success in the portrait sketchbook that was a photo album, and I've got bigger, and I definitely feel happier when I get bigger. So I'm re-engaged. I've re-engaged with that, so I'm happy about that. I'm finding I can do, while it's chilly and gloomy, if I just do short sessions in the cabin, at least I feel I get something done up here. Okay, now I'll move the camera, take some of that. So I've really loaded up the brush heavily. I'm guessing this is just some form of daisy. I never really worry what the florals are meant to be. They're just quite often something out of my imagination, or they're just, they look flowerish. If it looks flowerish, that's good enough for me. A suggestion. That's all I'm after, just a suggestion of something. So it's nice when you've got quite a bit of paint on your brush. Just have a bit of a smudge. Oh, I like those marks. So I often think I ought to line all my brushes up and see what mark I can get from each and every one of them. And then you can get something different when you go on the side of the brush. That's quite good fun. So the danger now is that everything with this brush starts to look the same shape, and we want to vary the shape. I'll take a photograph of this stage, and then I can print it out in the house and have a little ponder, have a little think about it. I forgot that I'd actually filmed this page, portrait page, in the photo album sketchbook that I talked about last week. I'm using a watercolour pencil for the initial drawing, and the reference material is the sculpture by Elizabeth Frink that is on the miscellaneous board. You might have seen that earlier. Well, I notice as I'm looking at this that one eye, I've got one strange eye, and I think that's the downside of, this is just an absolute excuse, this is the downside of looking at a sculpture that's been photographed as opposed to looking at someone in real life. So I'll see if I can make some adjustments, and I'll pop the pictures in. So you'll see that what I ended up with, hold on, those flowers are in the way, is so far removed from Elizabeth Frink's self-portrait, but it was a way in. So, and I'm really excited to have another go. I'm going to see what else I can find. I'll find some photographs. I stumbled across her. She was tucked in here. So I'm really raring now to get on these portraits in here. I think going quite small initially, I now feel like sizing up, growing up. So I'll be having lots of fun in there. When we were in Tate Britain last week, I stopped in my tracks at this beautiful, I'll put the image on the screen, beautiful painting by someone I've never heard of, George Clausen, Clausen, 1852 to 1944. He was born in London, and this painting is called Brown Eyes. He painted it in 1891. It's a portrait of a local girl from the village of Cookham in Berkshire, where Clausen lived at the time. Her name is not recorded in the title. The delicate light and flicked brushstrokes help suggest both the freshness and short-lived nature of youth. In 1886, Clausen co-founded, I'd never heard of this, the New English Art Club as an alternative exhibition venue to the Royal Academy. So there's so much art history, so many amazing artists. But she really grabbed my attention. So I've got something more to work on with her, as well as some photographs of my own. Let me grab my notes. Hold on. I follow someone called the Pocket Psychologist on Instagram, and she's really speedy and she really floats my boat. And I love this. She said that even if time's short, to get motivated, action makes for motivation, not the other way round. You don't need to wait to motivate yourself. You need to start and motivation will follow. She says discipline beats motivation. Create small wins, create big momentum. You won't always feel like it, but do it anyway. Make progress, not perfection. That is what keeps motivation alive. These were her 5 truth bombs about motivation. And I think at the end of it also, she said to try to say to yourself, okay, I'll try it for 2 minutes. And you've engaged, haven't you? You've started your 2 minutes, and that's what I find. I think, oh, I'm tired. And then I think, no, okay, try it for a little bit. Do it for a little bit. And it's fantastic. So if you haven't already come across her, she's really, really good, brilliant. And that's just one little Instagram. Very, very good indeed. Right, I will get up to the cabin. Oh, it's chilly, but I'll do a little bit, I think. Okay. Oh, and Rocket's having a bark. I'm not really looking now. I'm in my own world. I'm in my own place with this now, and I'll carry on in that vein. I'm quite enjoying it, and we'll see where it goes. I've got a little bit more in this morning. There's frost on the grass, so it's really nippy. I might go down to the house and finish up. I've been tweaking with that portrait on the kitchen table, and I'm raring to have another go to get another one down. So I might take myself down there and dig out some photographs maybe, and see if I can work up some more portraits in there. So I'll add some more things to the miscellaneous board for next week. I'll see if I can get a few things moving on, and more portraits. I think I've exhausted the boats for a bit, but I don't doubt that I'll be pulling back in. I've got a few pages left in that on the front side of that concertina. So what else? Have a lovely week, everyone. Stay warm. Have a lovely, artful week this week. And thank you for watching, as always. Lots of love. Bye for now.